This triangle-shaped wedge is made of wood, covered in a leather-type material, and is padded on the top. It's approximately 10 inches long and 5 inches high. Found while cleaning out a home office, it has a handle, which could mean it was transported for use elsewhere. It shows wear on the bottom, but no scuff marks on top. What is this specialized wedge? This padded wedge looks like a sacro-occipital technique, SOT wedge or block, used in chiropractic, massage therapy, or other forms of bodywork. SOT is a chiropractic technique that involves using these padded wedges, placed strategically under the pelvis of a patient lying on a treatment table. By using the patient's own body weight and gravity, these blocks are intended to help correct spinal and pelvic misalignments, reduce tension in the nervous system, and improve cerebrospinal fluid flow. The handle would make it easy for the practitioner to carry and position the blocks during a treatment session. Found while packing, these metal cups have tabs on the bottom. They are clearly for some kitchen use and are not very heavy. What are these specialized cooking cups for? These metal cups with tabs on the bottom are for making beer can chicken on a grill. Beer can chicken is a popular grilling method where a whole chicken is placed upright over a partially filled can of beer or other beverage. The steam from the liquid inside the can keeps the chicken moist while it cooks. These cups are a more stable and often cleaner alternative to using a standard beverage can. You pour the beer or other liquid into the cup, place the chicken cavity over it, and the tabs on the bottom of the cup are designed to clip onto a corresponding tray or rack that then sits on the grill, holding the chicken securely in its upright position. About 4 inches long, this tool has a faux wood handle and metal bristles bent like a rake. The bristles are somewhat flexible side to side. It was received in a box of small trinkets and gifts. What is this small rake-like tool? This small tool with rake-like metal bristles is a hairbrush cleaner. Its purpose is to remove the accumulated hair, dust, and product residue that gets trapped in the bristles of a hairbrush over time. The stiff yet flexible metal tines are raked through the bristles of the hairbrush from the base of the pad outwards, effectively lifting and pulling out the tangled mat of hair and debris. It's a simple but effective hygiene tool for keeping hairbrushes clean and functional. The example link confirms this identification. A friend found this in their apartment and was concerned due to recent issues with break-ins and stalking. Looking through the lens, one can see through the back. There may be a tiny SKU or item number on the black part. What is this small optical electronic component? This small object looks like a laser pointer diode, or more accurately, a laser diode module. This is the core component of a laser pointer. It consists of the laser diode itself, a small circuit board to regulate power, and a collimating lens to focus the light into a beam. These modules are very small and are used in a huge variety of products, not just laser pointers, but also in things like barcode scanners, CD/DVD players, and leveling tools. While its discovery is unsettling given the context, the component itself is common and could have fallen out of any number of broken electronic devices. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit like and subscribe. Your support genuinely helps YouTube's algorithm find more curious explorers like you. Thank you for helping us grow. Stay curious. Acquired at a flea market in Copenhagen, Denmark, this 5cm cast brass accessory has a screw-on decorated design. A blade cuts through 2 8mm holes. The body resembles intertwined twigs, suggesting it's decorative and not a worker's tool. The screw hole at the bottom implies it was mounted on a larger object. The finder is unsure, as it seems small for most cigars, and the 2 holes are puzzling. What is it? Despite the finder's doubts, this item is identified as an antique cigar cutter. Specifically, it's likely a type of V-cutter, or a double-bladed cutter designed to be screwed onto a smoking stand, a humidor, or a tabletop accessory. The 2 holes might have been for cutting 2 small cigars or cheroots simultaneously, or perhaps it offered 2 size options or a different type of cut. The blade mechanism would be activated by a lever or button, not fully described. Its ornate, cast brass, intertwined twigs design is typical of decorative tabacchiana from the late 19th or early 20th century, a time when such accessories were common for gentlemen's smoking rooms. These small red plastic things were found with a box of spare thumbtacks. They do not clamp and have little flexibility. A small bit of hardened, cut-off string is attached to the top of each one. What are these small, rigid plastic clips? These small red plastic items are identified as vintage Christmas card holders. In the mid-20th century, a popular way to display Christmas cards was to string a line of ribbon or yarn across a wall or doorway. These small plastic clips, often shaped like stars, bells, or other festive motifs, were then used to hang the cards from the ribbon. The clip would slide onto the ribbon, using the main body of the clip, and the Christmas card would be slipped into a small slit or clasp on the front of the holder. The bit of hardened string might be a remnant of this original ribbon. Seen on the highway, this large metal cylinder is painted black, has what looks like fins on the inside, and an odd protrusion on the outside. It was larger than the Ford Ranger pickup truck it was being transported near. What is this massive piece of industrial machinery? This large cylinder with internal fins is identified as an asphalt drum mixer. This is a primary component of an asphalt plant, the facility that produces the hot mix asphalt used for paving roads. Inside the large rotating heated drum, various sizes of aggregate, crushed stone, sand, and gravel, are tumbled and heated to remove moisture. The internal fins or flights lift and cascade the aggregate through the hot gas stream to ensure uniform heating. Liquid asphalt binder is then injected and mixed with the hot, dry aggregate to create the final paving material. This is a huge, heavy piece of road construction machinery. This wooden box, seen at a local thrift store, contains various small plastic and metal pieces. The longest piece has a thin metal skewer in the center of its plastic end. A piece in a baggie is a softer, rubber-like U-shape. The finder is unsure if it's for coffee, drink making, smoking, or gardening. What is this collection of accessories? This wooden box contains a wine opener and aerator set. It's a common type of gift, set for wine enthusiasts. The various tools typically include a corkscrew, the piece with the metal skewer, likely a lever style or waiter's friend opener, a foil cutter to remove the capsule from the top of the bottle, a wine collar or drip ring to catch drips, a wine pourer, which might incorporate an aerator to introduce air to the wine as it's poured, and a wine stopper, the softer, maybe rubber-like U-shape, could be a type of stopper or part of one to preserve leftover wine. Dubbed the Holy Toad, this concrete object, painted a terracotta color, is the size of a human face and weighs 7 to 8 lbs. It has multiple holes varying from 1 to 2.5 inches deep. They seem too big for candlesticks and too small for tea lights. It was purchased at Ace Hardware, has May Rich stamped on it, and says it's handcrafted in China. What is this toad frog for? This concrete toad with multiple holes is identified as a planter, specifically one designed for planting individual succulents. These novelty planters, often shaped like frogs, tortoises, or other animals, are popular for creating small succulent arrangements. Each well or hole is intended to hold a small individual succulent plant with a bit of soil. The different sizes and depths of the holes allow for a variety of small succulent species to be planted, creating a textured and visually interesting living sculpture. Mayrich is a company known for producing garden decor and planters of this type. These spiky metal things are seen atop all the parking signs outside a business in northwest Arkansas. They don't seem decorative, and it's doubtful birds are nesting on the thin top edge of poles. What is their purpose? These spiky metal strips are a form of bird prevention or anti-perching device. Their purpose is to stop birds, particularly pigeons or larger birds, from landing and roosting on top of the signs. Birds perched on signs and poles can lead to an accumulation of corrosive and unsightly droppings on the sign itself, on the ground below, or on cars parked underneath. The commenter, who has installed them, confirms this, adding it stops them from shitting over it, and cuts down on windshield bombing. The spikes create a surface that is uncomfortable or impossible for birds to land on, encouraging them to find another spot to perch. This battery-looking thing was found inside a smoke alarm, but it measures no voltage. What is this component? This component, which resembles a battery but has no voltage, is identified as a carbon monoxide (CO) sensor. Many modern smoke detectors are combination units that also detect carbon monoxide, a colorless, odorless, and deadly gas produced by incomplete combustion. The CO sensor is a separate component within the smoke alarm unit that is specifically designed to detect the presence of carbon monoxide gas. It operates on a different principle than the smoke detection sensor, which is usually photoelectric or ionization-based, and has its own electrochemical cell that reacts to CO, but it does not produce a steady voltage like a power supply battery. This two-story structure is seen at Heathrow Terminal 2. It has a concrete base and appears to be related to HVACs, or perhaps a freight elevator shaft. What is this standalone structure? This structure is identified based on a planning application for Heathrow 62360 APP 2012-676, which outlines them as being for ventilation to a below-ground area. Large, complex facilities like airport terminals have extensive underground infrastructure, including baggage handling systems, service tunnels, utilities, and potentially mass transit links. These areas require substantial ventilation systems to supply fresh air and exhaust stale air, fumes, or heat. This two-story structure would be a ventilation shaft, housing the fans and ductwork necessary to serve these subterranean levels, with the height required to ensure the air intake and exhaust points are well above ground level. Found in an Airbnb kitchen, this aluminum object is about 6 inches long. The commenter suggests it has been modified. What was its original purpose? This item is identified as a modified set of charcoal clamps or tongs designed for a hookah, also known as a shisha or water pipe. Hookah smoking involves placing hot coals on top of a foil-covered bowl of flavored tobacco. These small metal tongs are used to safely handle and reposition the hot charcoal pieces during a smoking session. Many sets of hookah tongs also come with an attached poker, the stick thing, for poking holes in the foil. The commenter notes that this particular set looks like it has been bent or repurposed for some other task, but its origin is in the world of hookah accessories. While driving on the highway, the passenger window of a car suddenly shattered. After pulling over, this small, lightweight metal component was found on the floor next to the passenger seat. A coworker in the car didn't recognize it, leading to the suspicion that it might have been a projectile that caused the window to break. What is this metal part? This small metal component is identified as the end bracket of a coping saw. A coping saw is a small hand saw with a very thin blade held in tension by a C-shaped frame. It's used for making intricate curved cuts, coping, in wood, particularly for trim and molding work. This bracket would be one of the two pieces at the ends of the saw's frame that hold the blade in place. It's possible it was lying on the highway, was kicked up by another vehicle's tire, and struck the window with enough force to shatter it, as tempered side windows can break from a sharp impact from a small, hard object. Found in the garage rafters, this item looks like a micro air brake. When a long spring-loaded plunger is pushed in, it pushes air out of a nipple. It reminds the finder of a semi-truck air brake, but is much smaller. Part of it appeared to be painted red or orange, suggesting a possible tractor part. What is this small pneumatic or vacuum device? This device is identified as a vacuum actuator. Unlike an air brake, which is powered by positive pressure, a vacuum actuator is powered by vacuum, negative pressure, typically drawn from the engine's intake manifold in a gasoline-powered vehicle. The spring holds a diaphragm in a default position. When a vacuum is applied to one side of the diaphragm, via the nipple, it overcomes the spring pressure and moves the plunger or an attached rod. These actuators are used for a wide variety of functions in older vehicles, such as controlling HVAC air flaps, directing air to the vents, defroster, or floor, operating mechanisms on carburetors, like the choke, or advancing ignition timing in distributors. This light fixture on the ceiling has a peculiar design. It features a spool of wire wrapped around a heavy, presumably metal, ring inside. This component connects the house's power supply to the light bulb. What is this ring-shaped electrical component? This ring-shaped component with wire wrapped around it is a toroidal transformer, or possibly a toroidal inductor. A transformer is used to change the voltage of an AC electrical supply. In this light fixture, its most likely purpose is to step down the standard line voltage, e.g. 120 Vi in the US, or 235 Vs in Europe, to a lower voltage, e.g. 12 Vs, required by a low-voltage light bulb, such as a halogen or some types of LED bulbs. The toroidal, donut shape is a very efficient design for a transformer, offering low electromagnetic interference and a compact size. An inductor might be used as part of a ballast circuit for some types of lamps. Seen a few miles up a hiking trail in Southern California, this metal post is about 4 feet tall and filled with concrete. It has a metal arm embedded in the concrete, so it can't pivot. The arm, which may have been bent over by vandals, has a circular strap at its end. What was this trailside structure? This is identified as the stump or remnant of a pipe bridge support stanchion. The upright piece is an old steel casing filled with concrete to create a rigid pedestal in the creek bank. The flat metal bar, the arm, would have originally stood nearly vertical. The circular strap at its end is a clamp designed to cradle and support a horizontal pipeline carrying water, oil, or a small utility as it crosses the creek. When the pipeline was eventually salvaged or abandoned, the pipe was cut free and the support strap was bent down, leaving the concrete-filled post to rust in place. It's a forgotten piece of old infrastructure from a long-removed pipeline. This small, 3-inch metal tool was found with a bunch of other 19th or early 20th century tools related to shoemaking and textiles. It has knobs that move small spikes or points. What is this precision mechanical tool? Despite being found with shoemaking and textile tools, this precision instrument is identified as a depthing tool used in watchmaking and clockmaking. A depthing tool is used to check and adjust the proper engagement, meshing, and distance between 2 gears, a wheel and a pinion, in a watch or clock movement. The 2 gears are mounted on the adjustable points, spikes, of the tool outside of the main clock plates. The knobs allow for microscopic adjustments, letting the watchmaker observe the gear interaction and ensure they run smoothly together with minimal friction before they are installed in the movement. It's a critical tool for precision horological work. A hollow white bag, roughly 3 feet wide with a tube or frame inside, reportedly fell out of the sky after an airplane flew overhead. What is this aerial object? This object is identified as a Chinese flying lantern or sky lantern. These are small hot air balloons made from a paper shell, the hollow white bag, and a bamboo or wire frame at the bottom, the tube inside. In the center of the frame is a small wax fuel cell or wick. When the fuel cell is lit, the flame heats the air inside the paper lantern, causing it to become less dense than the surrounding air. This lifts the lantern and it floats up into the sky, glowing like a paper balloon. They are released for celebrations and festivals, but their connection to the airplane flying overhead was likely just a coincidence. This small, nail-like piece of metal hardware was removed from a customer's tire by a coworker. What is this specific type of object designed to be inserted into a tire? This object is not something that punctured the tire, but rather something used to repair it. It's a tire plug, specifically the type used in a tubeless tire repair kit. When a tire gets a puncture from a nail or screw, the object is removed, the hole is reamed out, and then one of these sticky, fibrous, rubber-impregnated plugs is inserted into the hole using a special tool. The plug seals the puncture from the inside out, allowing the tire to hold air again. The commenter identifies it as one of these bad boys, indicating its common use for roadside tire repairs. This wood and fabric object, about 16 inches long by 2 inches wide, opens about 3 inches via a metal hinge. About 30 of them were found at an old church auction. The fabric is stapled along the long edge in the middle. What are these identical hinged objects? This object is identified as a book holder designed to fit between 2 church chairs, and it also serves to lock the chairs together. In many churches, individual chairs are used instead of traditional pews, and they are often ganged or linked together in rows. This hinged wooden device would be placed between two adjacent chairs. The fabric-lined slot created when it's slightly open is for holding a hymnal, prayer book, or Bible. The way it attaches to the chairs also serves to connect them into a stable row, maintaining neat and orderly seating arrangements. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.